Fans of the reality TV show Mystery at Blind Frog Ranch want an update about the lawsuit filed against Duane Ollinger, the star of the Hidden Treasure series. Duane appears on the show with his son, Chad, and other team members as they hunt for buried treasures on his ranch in eastern Utah. The show features the team as they search 7 underground caves on his 160-acre property, the Blind Frog Ranch. Duane and the team are followed as they look for a pot of gold they believe is hidden somewhere on his property. According to Judicial Nexus, a lawsuit was brought against Duane by local authorities and environmental groups. They claim that his mining operations did not have the proper legal permits and requested that the courts stop Duane from excavating until the legal matters were decided. Various excavation tools, such as heavy machinery and explosives, are used during the process, and the Utah Department of Environmental Quality and other groups filed a complaint. Duane argued that he owns the property, so he can do whatever he wants to on his ranch. However, court records show that Blind Frog Ranch is owned by Ollinger Duane ATL, which means it is owned by Duane Ollinger and others. Environmental groups use the technicality to challenge Duane's ownership rights, and full ownership of the ranch needs to be clarified by the courts. The U.S. Bureau of Land Management is also involved, because there is a dispute that some of the ranch is on federal land. The lawsuit hasn't stopped the Mystery at Blind Frog Ranch production, though. Season 5 of the reality show premiered on June 18 on the Discovery Channel. A description by Warner Bros. Noted that the team is still excavating on the property. In the season premiere, Chad dives deep into an underground passage, discovering artifacts and a potential way through to the keyhole chamber. Read the description. Meanwhile, geologist Eric Drummond returns from Ohio with intel on how to drill around the meteorite on the ranch. But a midnight intruder on the property digs up an even bigger mystery, putting the team on high alert and impeding their efforts. The description also appears to hint at the lawsuit. Yet as they inch closer to the treasure, a deadly radioactive discovery, volatile elements, mysterious trespassers, and secret government operations threaten to halt everything. Environmental activists say that the excavation Duane and his team are conducting on the Blind Frog Ranch can result in water contamination and disrupt local wildlife and ecosystems. The popularity of the show brought more lawsuits from neighboring landowners of the ranch, and the case became more complicated. The court issued a temporary injunction that stops further excavation while the lawsuit is under review, and access to the ranch is now restricted. Some court records are sealed as the case continues, and Duane could face big fines or criminal charges if the court rules that he violated mining or safety laws. A remote expanse in Utah's Uinta Basin, the Blind Frog Ranch carries with it a mythology that fuses the allure of hidden riches with environmental fragility. At first glance, it looks like any other sprawling desert property. Yet beneath its dusty surface, allegations swirl. Trespassing, unauthorized blasting, ecological damage, and even stolen artifacts. Now, the outcome of its court battles may reshape how private lands are hunted, mined, and protected. Origins of a modern mythos, a quiet desert retreat, the ranch entered public consciousness thanks to a hit reality TV show portraying a treasure hunt. The owner, Duane Ollinger, and his team pursued subterranean clues that hinted at Spanish gold, Aztec relics, or rare iridium metal. Legends preserved in local lore, Financescope.com. That lore meshed seamlessly with the show's growing audience, fueling dramatic excavations via heavy machinery and explosives deep underground. Unearthing such mysteries on private land invited scrutiny. But rather than scrutiny being casual, it morphed into lawsuit filings. Neighbors, environmental groups, and the state of Utah stepped forward with claims ranging from trespass to ecological disaster. Tangled thicket of accusatory, the lawsuit's heart lies an interwoven web of allegations. First, repeated trespassing and tunnel excavations allegedly crossed onto adjacent property. Plaintiffs pointed to boundary overshoots, with claims of daily incursions into neighboring lands, TheStylesMagazine.com logged. These issues have triggered lawsuits from individual landowners seeking monetary damages and legal injunctions. Second, federal and state environmental laws took center stage. The ranch attracted penalties for blasting without permits, unregistered heavy machinery, improper fuel storage, and potential toxins leaching into water. TrekMag.co.uk, Judicial Nexus. The claims are serious. Wildlife often relies on fragile springs. Excavations and chemical runoff threaten that balance. Third, allegations of financial misconduct emerged. A few voices within the community accused ranch ownership of misallocating funds intended for environmental remediation or ranch improvements. Accusations of mismanagement of revenue raised trust concerns, even within supporters. TechPlantup.com layered over these were questions about unregistered equipment, seismic drone evidence, and potential federal violations over explosive substances. Judicial Nexus. At least one court obtained drone images and time-stamped photos showing dig sites exceeding permitted size and scope, deepening suspicion. The court's unfolding drama from 2022 onward, legal proceedings accelerated. A jury awarded $4 million in damages to former landowners, an early sign that trespass and property boundaries could be far from trivial. TrekMag.co.uk. That ruling bolstered additional claims from environmental groups and state authorities, who pursued injunctions, fines, and cleanup orders. In 2024 and 2025, hearing schedules multiplied. Expert witnesses, geologists, ecologists, property rights attorneys provided both scientific and legal testimony. Financescope.com. Among these experts, sourced environmental surveys highlighted potential water table contamination and the irreversible harm of blasting ecosystems. Simultaneously, the discovery phase unveiled sealed court documents. Critics pointed out that hidden filings obstructed transparency, feeding conspiracy theories among fans and the public. Some argued for unsealing, citing open court precedent. TheStylesMagazine.com. For now, the existence of sealed documents remains another layer of public mystique. At stake. Legal precedent and environmental policy. The case transcends the story of one ranch. Legal scholars note it raises essential questions. How far do private property rights extend when they intersect with broader public interest? Can a landowner claim mineral or artifact rights when excavation jeopardizes shared water supplies or habitats? Do safety-focused environmental statutes override individual pursuit of treasure? The ruling enforces stricter constraints, denying blasting without permits, forcing ecological restoration, or imposing criminal fines. It becomes a template for future land use conflicts. All about lawyer, Infinigels.com, Chalif Law. If the ranch wins, private landowners may feel emboldened to dig deeper and deeper, albeit at potential cost to neighborhoods, watersheds, and fragile ecozones. Ecological stakes and restoration efforts. The environmental arguments have been powerful. Desert springs and underground aquifers in the Uinta Basin support species found nowhere else. Blasting, tunnel collapse, or spillover from machinery threatens that unique biodiversity. In some cases, court settlements have already requested restoration. Backfilling shafts, capping explosives, replanting native flora, and removing debris from excavation sites. Such projects, though costly, offer a way to recover damage, but only if enforced. Government agencies continue to push for strong oversight and ongoing remediation, not just reactive responses. Community ripples and the tourism paradox. Tourism is in a curious position. The TV presence brought hundreds of visitors to the region, supporting hotels, cafes, equipment rentals, and dive services. Locals celebrated the influx, until concerns escalated. Foot traffic damage, potential injuries in unstable dig zones, and the reputation risk that environmental headlines bring. While some residents champion the ranch's mystique, others fear their township may become a cautionary tale. Tourist trap turned toxic site, squeezed by legal hangovers, techplantup.com. The lessons on both sides: prosperity through adventure tourism, consequences from ecological missteps, now converge in a high-stakes gamble. Media's twin role. Spectacle and Spotlight. The case shows how media can be both lens and amplifier. Documentaries, TV specials, specialized blogs, and online forums have elevated a localized legal conflict into a national conversation. The show's producers, initially confident, now face a scenario where the drama may shift from treasure to headlines, possibly rewriting their contracts. Meanwhile, investigative journalists pursue environmental angles. Science-driven outlets spotlight toxins, geologists pinpoint water hazards, while legal analysts interview lawyers on precedent. What started as reality TV may soon be case study material in law schools, examining media's role in sensationalizing disputes while raising awareness. Fans' worries and deeper anxieties. Despite legal tension, the fan base remains emotionally invested. Forums and social media communities express two overlapping worries: what's going to happen to the ranch and to Olinga himself.